Kurt says he will wrestle again in the WWE. So who would you want to see? Pick one wrestler from Raw and one wrestler from SmackDown. Is that even plugged in anymore?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
It is plugged in.
Here, yeah.
Anthony, it's chaos.
2 in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
So, what
place.
one wrestler from Raw and one wrestler from SmackDown would you want to see Kurt go up against? Well, Anthony fixes that. I'm going to answer the question for SmackDown. I would want to see Kurt go one-on-one again with John Cena. I think the John Cena that Kurt fought years ago is a completely different animal. He's become a monumentally better worker, and I think those two would have an amazing match that the crowd would be insane for. Do you have a guy on SmackDown you'd want to see him go against?
Rusev.
Is he on SmackDown?
Yeah, he's on SmackDown.
So I think that would be a great match. They would need to start booking Rusev a little stronger.
Well, what they're doing with Rusev right now is because he's legitimately hurt, not kayfabe hurt. He's legitimately hurt. And for those of you who don't know what the word term kayfabe means, that means like within the storyline. Yeah. Like Chris Jericho is kayfabe injured. He's not actually hurt, but
he just has to go on tour. Yeah. Rusev, I don't know what's wrong with him.
He hurt his shoulder, I think. That's why he wasn't at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that stinks when the guy gets hurt right before Mania.
What they're booking him for right now is that he wants a title match at Money in the Bank. And if he does not get the title match at Money in the Bank, he will not come to SmackDown.
A U.S. title match?
No, I mean WWE title.
WWE title match.
So as of now, I think the plan is to bring him back there as a heel, which probably means that Randy Orton will probably retain at Backlash, more than likely.
Yeah, you're not going to have a Jinder versus Rusev match.
Who's the face in that? You know what I mean? So, I mean, we'll see what they end up doing, but I think that he's such a good heel. People love to boo him, and I think if you want to keep Kurt as Mr. America, that would be an awesome storyline.
It would be. Yeah. To me, I just think the limited matches that they're going to give Kurt, I would like to see him go up against bigger names. But I understand what you're saying, the American versus the Bulgarian. And
I would love to see, even if Kurt lost to Rusev, that puts Rusev over. I mean, I feel like for a long time, he was always the butt of every joke. He put every old guy over.
Rusev
got super kicked by
good.
Everybody. He put everybody over.
Rusev
I think it's now
Sandow.
time for him to...
Sandow, who's not with the company, was so good at, being the butt of the joke and getting super kicked. Those two were great.
I think Shawn Michaels recently super kicked Rusev. You know what I mean? That's how he jobs to literally every old guy. So I'd like to see him get put over by Kurt Angle.
It would be great.
Yeah.
But I know Rusev's not on the best terms with the company because he cut his hair.
Yeah, I think he's growing it back, though.
But I do understand. To me, I was thinking, all right, that's just Vince being crazy. But I understand.
He doesn't look scary with the short hair.
He doesn't look scary. And I was reading all the marketing that goes into WWE. They have trading cards, video games, action figures. And if you're to change the look, it ruins all those. You have to put out new stuff. And without telling the company that you're going to be doing this drastic change, it is, a little irresponsible of Rusev not to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're overreacting a little bit, but...
well, it seems like they're going to put him in a title match for the WWE title, so, I mean, not ridiculous. But I would like to see that. As for Raw, I don't know that
Say Dean Ambrose, and I'm going to come over there.
No, it wouldn't be Dean, because I don't see... It's tough to say, because I feel like there's not like a monster heel, I feel like, on...
Oh, Braun.
Well, yeah, but I just think they're going to continue that Roman feud forever, and I don't know. I don't need to see Braun with Angle. I'd like to see someone a little more athletic.
I would Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, man.
Now, imagine if that's who Lesnar dropped the Universal title to, was Angle. Angle won the Universal title and then turns heel, and then...
That would be great.
Becomes the GM and the title holder.
That'd be amazing.
And then they put someone over at WrestleMania. That would be cool.
Yeah, as long as they put over a younger talent at Mania, I'm all for that. There's so many matchups that Kurt would be great in. Again, AJ Styles, they've had great matches in TNA. Shinsuke Nakamura would be amazing. Yeah. And, guys like Seth Rollins, even the guy like Dolph Ziggler, they would have, stellar matches for sure.
Speaking of which, I'm excited for Ziggler versus Nakamura at Backlash.
I am too. I just wish, Ziggler was booked a little stronger leading into this. I don't know how he's been doing on SmackDown. I'm assuming he's been winning,
right? He beat up Sin Cara, But
it still
was a hard-fought match, so,
really? Shinsuke is winning this match.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. So I would love for Ziggler to have been built up more so this match had, some more hype behind it. Mm-hmm. But it's great to finally get Shinsuke on the main roster, and at least they're doing something with Ziggler, who's money in the ring for sure.
It's just amazing how... he just fell so much, Ziggler. I mean, he was, at one point, when he cashed in Money in the Bank,
the biggest pop of the year.
So over. As a heel, he was so over. And now he is barely a mid-card guy because WWE has mishandled him so poorly. Yeah. And, he just hasn't been able to put anybody over or get put over by anybody else again to get to that point. I personally would love to see a feud with him and Cena. Actually, I think they would put together a good feud.
It'd be amazing.
And I think if Cena put over Ziggler, that could catapult him right back to world title.
They've
stuff.
had great matches before. They could obviously have great matches again.
Yep.
And it just needs to be Ziggler getting over.
Yeah.
And that's probably not going to happen.
No,
unfortunately.
Maybe at this stage in Cena's career, he's not above doing it.
Yeah. I don't know if they would want it to Ziggler though.
Yeah, who knows?
You pointed out something interesting about how AJ Styles says he's jealous of wrestlers that got to come up through NXT.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's interesting because Styles has been a legend almost, everywhere but the WWE. I mean, he was the only, in my knowledge, the only TNA wrestler that really put together 5-star matches in TNA. There were a lot of good performers there, but you didn't get phenomenal matches like you did out of AJ Styles. Great in Japan. Pretty much everywhere he went, he was a champion.
Yeah.
And great. Now here at WWE, he's one of the top guys. Definitely the top guy on SmackDown right now, especially with Cena out. But he is just one of the top guys in the company. And for him to say he's jealous of guys that got to come through the developmental, because it has that little more of an indie feel to it. You're a homegrown guy. That's all you know. For some of them, not all of them. Finn Balor came through there, but he was on. I think he was on Ring of Honor and some indies as well.
Yeah, Finn Balor was around the world.
Yeah, Seth Rollins was in Ring of Honor before he went to NXT.
I think some guys are so big that they don't need to go to NXT. Mm-hmm. I think Samoa Joe was one that didn't have to go to NXT, but really flourished there. Mm-hmm. AJ Styles is another one. But a lot of these guys, they never really worked a WWE style. So whether it's working for the camera at a certain angle or just a different pace, NXT is great. It's a great learning tool for these guys who are used to just quick matches, maybe not even televised. So to me, NXT is great. It's obviously not as good as it once was a few years ago when you had, the girls, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, all there, and Bayley and whatnot.
Well, I think there's still a lot of talent there. I mean, we talked about Ember Moon. Now she's injured, but she is so good. I don't know if you watched her match against Asuka.
Yeah, I did.
It was a great match. That was such a good title match.
Asuka's really good.
Yeah, she'll be up soon. I think eventually she'll be up, but it's just a matter of who's going to be the one to take the title off for her. But she is great. Ember Moon is obviously great. Bobby Roode is on another level.
He's the guy that didn't really need to go to NXT as well, but it's so good he did because
who else would be there to take
exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's good to make sure that roster has enough people there, and
he's got to put somebody over
star.
Too. If you have nobody there, no one. And how do you build somebody that's good? You need to have a top guy to put somebody else over.
So who's he going up against at NXT TakeOver?
Honestly, I haven't been keeping up as much as I probably should. I'm not 100%.
I know this.
I want to say Drew McIntyre, but
it might be Drew McIntyre. Is it Roderick Strong?
Maybe.
Are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up now. Yeah.
All right. So we have NXT TakeOver Chicago, which is going to be taking place, I guess, the day before WWE's Backlash. Yep. Any other NXT news?
Like I said, we have Ember Moon out of the Fatal 4-Way there for the women's title. So it's just going to be Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. We also actually have the UK title being held there. And that's Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne. There is nothing right now, actually. There's no NXT title match announced on WWE's website.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe they'll do something, on on Wednesday.
There's a lot of great performers there, man. So there's guys like Kenta, Roderick. Kenta, I don't think he's going by Kenta. I forget what his name is in WWE. But Roderick Strong and
here you go. It's Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami. People know
that's
because
Kenta.
of the taping.
That's Kenta.
Yeah. So
that's going to be an amazing match.
And then you have the Authors of Pain versus DIY for a ladder match for the NXT Tag.
That's going to be amazing.
Match, yeah. So I mean, all you got is the 4 matches, but NXT is usually not that long anyway.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours, 2 hours and change.
Yeah, if you're lucky, because I mean the regulars are maybe 55 minutes an hour regular taping. So we'll see what they do with it. I mean, I don't think Rude's gonna drop it to Hideo Itami, personally. I think he's going to stay down for a little bit longer.
Yeah, keep him down there until maybe SummerSlam, and then I would love for Bobby Roode to be brought up because he's glorious, man. One of the best entrants in the WWE
probably
right now.
Yeah. How great would that be just for if they did some sort of battle royale or something and
he comes
out just the whole theme song and everything? Oh,
it would be amazing. So what else is going to be happening on Raw tonight? Do we expect obviously no Universal Champion because. No.
You're not getting him to show up in the United States. You're not getting him to show up overseas either.
So I'm guessing, is Reigns and Strowman going to be there?
I don't know. They're both injured, according to Kurt Angle last week. So who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? These tape shows are always weird because they're weird. They don't want to reveal too much.
I don't think anything big is going to happen on this tape show just because it is taped, and I don't expect anything huge, no big ramifications for the next coming weeks on tonight. And I'm guessing SmackDown is also in England, so that'll be taped tomorrow. What are your thoughts? Because there's only been one WWE pay-per-view to take place in England that's a worldwide. There's been exclusive, like one night only in 1997, but SummerSlam 1992 took place at Wembley Stadium, one of the best pay-per-views ever. But that was in an age before the internet. So, do you ever expect them to ever have a main card?
No, I don't think so. You can't with the time zones. I mean, there's too many. It is, they say, World Wrestling Entertainment, and it is worldwide, quote unquote. But, I mean, the majority of its fan base is here in the United States. So I'd be very shocked if they did something there where, major matches could be spoiled.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that.
It would be great if it could, just because another pay-per-view at Wembley would be amazing.
Well, just anywhere in the world. I'd like to see them go anywhere, literally anywhere.
I guess they're
trying to grow the brand in India. Why couldn't they do it in India? Why couldn't they do it in China? Why couldn't,
if we could figure out, the time zone difference, maybe the pay-per-view starts at like 3 p.m. here. It starts 8 p.m. somewhere. I'm not so good with time zone math, but I mean, I'm sure we could figure something out. And if we just have to watch it at an earlier time than 8 o'clock, I'd be all for that. I would love to see an overseas pay-per-view happening live. That'd be absolutely great. Oh, here's 2 interesting stories with the Hardys. So Jeff says he will never use the 450 splash again. I guess he over-rotated doing it once and busted up his shoulder. The guy is an absolute maniac, daredevil.
Swanton bomb is a great move, though.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird, this freak in a polite way is like he has his limits because he's reckless in the ring. He's willing to do everything, but it's interesting to see that he's hesitant, which is good. I think that's great for Jeff. He's maturing a little bit. He doesn't want to put his body on the line, and nor should he, because he's like a 40-year-old man who's been wrestling for like 25 years. So kudos to Jeff, but he still does some crazy stuff here and there, and as we just saw last week, he lost a tooth. So the Hardys, they're still insane. And the other insane Hardy, Matt, he's saying TNA Wrestling is holding the Broken Hardy gimmick hostage, which is terrible news for Matt Hardy fans and wrestling fans.
Delete that owl.
It's ridiculous that TNA, what does WWE need to offer to get this gimmick? Because it will make bank for this company.
They're just over now as they are normally. I think it's the interesting part,
They are, but they're so much more interesting when they're delete.
You know what? I think it's the craziest part. Not to, not ignore your question. But the craziest thing is somehow TNA has mishandled this so poorly. The 2 people, the Hardys, who were there, to pretty much, they funded so much themselves. They kept the company afloat for over a year and a half on such bad terms now. How could you let this happen?
Yeah, why are they screwing these guys over? Guys, who who did so much for the company. It's very immature. It's just a sign that TNA is not a well-run organization.
Just give him a few $1 million if you're Vince and have him be over. I mean, if they said, here's $5 million, bye. I mean,
Vince
they'll make that
Vince
back
should do that.
in merch alone.
Exactly. Vince should do that. It's just